Hi everybody, so I've got a really simple pasta meal for you tonight. It's a creamy chicken and leek pasta. You just need about 400 grams, for 4 servings, about 400 grams of whatever pasta you like. You could do this with tagliatelle or spaghetti, you could do it with, I'm using penne tonight, but you could really use any kind of pasta. You need a tablespoon of vegetable oil, you need some parmesan, grated parmesan, about 60 grams in total. You need a can of, I'm using light evaporated milk, you could use regular evaporated milk. I've got 1 leek, which is just the lighter part of the leek, and I've just washed it and sliced it in kind of half moons. I've got about half a pack of button mushrooms, which I've just sliced up. I've got a package of tender stem broccoli, which I've taken off the thicker stems, and I've just left myself the tender part with the sprouting broccoli on the top. And then I've got a package of diced chicken breast. You could use a couple of chicken breasts and chop them up yourselves. You could even use some pre-cooked chicken on this one, and just instead of cooking the chicken first, cook your vegetables first and then add the chicken in. So that's the basics for the recipe. I'm going to cook the pasta first, and then when the pasta's cooked, I'm going to drain it, but I'm going to save about 250 ml of the pasta, starchy pasta water. So I'll take that out before I drain the rest of the pasta off. And then once I get everything cooking in the pan, I'll come back and show you how it looks before I combine everything. So in the pan here, I've got the leeks, which I cooked for about 5 minutes over a low heat in the vegetable oil. And then I added in the mushrooms, and I've just cooked those together for just a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to add to that next the chicken, which I did just cook through and chop up, and did that separately. I did it first while the pasta was cooking. So I'm going to add that. I'm also going to add the can of evaporated milk, and then I've got 250 ml of the pasta water that I kept once the pasta was cooked. I'm going to add all of that together and just bring that up to a boil. So there you go, that's got the chicken added back in, a can of light evaporated milk, and 250 ml of the pasta cooking water. You're not going to need to add any salt to this because you've got the pasta water, which I always cook that. I didn't salt it as heavily as I would normally for just cooking pasta and then serving, but I did put salt in, and then we're using Parmesan cheese as well, which is quite salty. So I'm not adding any extra salt, but I will add a sprinkle of black pepper to that. And I'm going to add in now the tender stem broccoli and about 30 grams of Parmesan cheese. So there we go, we've got the broccoli added in, and I've added about 30 grams of grated Parmesan to that as well. I've brought it up to a boil, and I'm just going to let that simmer for only about 5 minutes, just until that broccoli just tenderizes a little bit. It won't take long because it's just thin pieces of broccoli. And certainly if I was stir frying it, I would only give it 3 to 5 minutes, so I'm going to give it about the same in this dish. Then once that's done, just combine it with, over here I've got a pan of cooked penne, which is just resting in some cold water to stop it sticking. I'll drain that off, combine that all with this mixture, and then just top it with a little bit more Parmesan cheese, and that will be our supper. So once I've got it all combined in one pan, I'll come back and show you the finished result. And so there is our finished dish all combined together. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan on before I serve it. So it's got the chicken, the button mushrooms, some leeks, some tender stem broccoli, evaporated milk, and I've used penne pasta, but you could use any kind of pasta, and Parmesan, and that's it. Really, really simple, quick midweek supper, especially if you've got some already cooked chicken. That way it would only take about 15 minutes to cook the whole dish. Most of that time would be waiting for the pasta to cook. So a nice midweek meal. It is creamy chicken, leek and broccoli pasta.